Hi guys, thanks so much for tuning into this video. I am Jay Theo, and if you are new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. If you are not new, welcome back. So if you guys saw the title of this video, today I'm gonna be sharing some story times of a couple crazy dates I went on with two fathers of four. Yes, these were two separate dating experiences that involved two dads that had four kids. So y'all, I just want to dive in. Let's just get right into it. I feel like we can kiki, chat it up a little bit. I definitely want to hear your comments if you guys experience anything similar, but let's get right into it. So y'all, both of these story times will be from dates that happened when I first moved to LA. I was around 25, 26 at the time, so I was just dipping my toe in the LA dating pool, and off the bat, it was chaos. So yeah, y'all, this was not what I wanted to walk into in the dating scene, especially coming off of New York City dating scene, which is already chaos as well. So yes, it was really interesting. So the first guy, we're gonna call him Trey. So I met Trey, like I said, I was around 25, 26 when I first moved to LA. I was out at a club called Blow, which used to pop every Friday night in West Hollywood. It was like the black hip hop R&B club. It was super lit. They used to have lesbian night on Saturdays, and that was lit too. But Friday nights was the gay night, and y'all, it was a vibe. Everybody went, it was packed. It was always a cute situation. So Blow was the place to be back in the day. So went to Blow with some friends, turning up, met this guy. We started vibing, we started dancing on each other. He kept buying me drinks. It was just a good night, like made out in the club, like very typical in your 20s, living it up, having a good night. It was cute. So my 25-year-old ass, yes, we ended up hooking up that night, y'all. Came back to my place. I know, but I was doing my 25-year-old thing. We hooked up. I'm thinking it might just be a one-night stand, but y'all, it ended up being like a really fun night. Like, we had really good chemistry, really great time. It was cute. We decided to exchange numbers, and then the next day he texted me, you know, good morning. So we started texting, and then he let me know that he had such a good time that he would want to take me on a date. And I was like, sure, yeah, I mean, this is cute. Like, we met, we vibed. Let's go ahead and actually have an official date. So y'all, the date comes, you know, he's very forthcoming. He booked a reservation at this rooftop in downtown. He picked me up. So y'all, at the time, so he was like 31, I was 25, so a little bit older. So I was just feeling good. I'm like, he picked me up. It was like 2017. He came, picked me up in like 2014, 2015 Mercedes. So y'all, I was like, okay, I'm gonna pick him in a Mercedes. He already booked a reservation. I was feeling myself. I'm like, okay, we already vibed on a sexual level. We had chemistry. I'm like, this is cute. So I'm excited. So he picks me up, we get to the rooftop. We're having, you know, it's a vibe. It's beautiful outside. It's like perfect weather. We walk up to the rooftop, we start getting drinks, we get small plates. He's paying for everything. He pays for, while we're waiting to get a table, he pays for the drinks when we're at the bar, and then we sit down and we start ordering small plates and everything. He makes it very clear that this is on him, he's paying for it. So I'm just feeling like, you know, I'm being wined and dined. I'm just enjoying the night. So y'all, we're having a good conversation, everything's going well, and then we get to the topic of family. So y'all, we're just talking, and all of a sudden he reveals to me that he's a dad. And the way he reveals it is like, I told you I'm a dad, right? And I'm like, no, you didn't tell me you're a dad. He's like, yeah, I did. I told you I'm a dad. I said, no, I would have remembered that you did not tell me you were a dad. He's like, no, I know I told you that. Y'all, he literally went back and forth with me for like 3 or 4 minutes about whether he told me if he was a dad or not. And y'all, that's something I'll remember, because even at this age, anybody with kids was pretty much a deal breaker for me. Like, I was still kind of open to the idea of it, but it still was pretty firm. Like, I don't really want to date anybody that have kids. I'm only in my 20s. Why am I trying to date somebody that has kids? And on top of that, I'm a gay man. So the fact that I'm even encountering somebody with kids is already like, rather not. So I knew I would have remembered that. So y'all, that was kind of turning me off the date, because it's like, why are you gonna keep telling me you told me something you did not tell me? And it's something I know I would have remembered. Y'all, I would have remembered if this man was a dad. And even if he did tell me when we were out at the club, like, first off, why would you tell me then? And why would you think I remember if we're like lit, we're drinking, like, but y'all, that boy, he did not tell me that. So whatever, I tried to get past the back and forth. So then I just say like, well, do you have a son or daughter? He's like, both. And I'm like, you have a son and a daughter? He's like, I have 4 kids. I said, you have 4 kids? He's like, yeah, I have 4 kids. I'm like, you seriously have 4 kids? Like, you're not joking. He's like, yes, I have 4 kids. He's like, I'm pretty sure I told you. I was not about to do this back and forth again. So I tell him, I would have remembered if you had 4 kids, but I appreciate you telling me. And y'all, in that moment, I'm like, do I just basically tell him right now that's a complete deal breaker for me? I'm trying not to be an asshole because people have things that happen in life, but I'm still just really confused. So I'm like, okay, so you have 4 kids. And then he's like, yeah, let me show you pictures of them. So y'all, he whips out his phone and just starts showing me his wallpaper. He starts like showing me pictures of his kids, y'all, and they're all from ages from like 2 to 9. So these are very young kids, which I would anticipate. He's only 31 years old. Your kids can't be that old. So I'm just like, oh wow, they're cute. You know, I'm trying to be nice. Like, oh, and he's like talking about them, like, yeah, they're so cute. Like, and he's like, yeah, I have a FaceTime schedule with each one of them throughout the week. And I was like, a FaceTime schedule? I was like, where are they? They're not in LA? He's like, no, they live in Michigan with their mom. I'm like, okay. So I was like, all 4 of your kids live in Michigan with their mom and you live out here? He's like, yeah, me and their mom got a divorce. I said, okay. I said, got you, but still I was like, they're so young. You don't want to be in Michigan with your kids? Yeah, I had to divorce their mom. She was crazy. Like it was just too much for me. So I had to leave Michigan and now I'm in LA. And y'all, so first off, I'm already turned off by the fact that you have 4 kids. Then I'm turned off because you have 4 kids and you just left them in another state and you flew all the way, thousands of miles away to be in LA. So it's just kind of like, And y'all, I had gained a lot of respect for this man in the beginning because he was 31, he had his own car, his own place, he has his master's, he worked in social, he was like a director for a nonprofit. So just, I'm like, okay, like this man has his shit together. So then I'll hear that this man has kids in another state that he's not even physically seeing was really pissing me off, to be honest. So, and on top of that, when he's telling me he got a divorce, so now I'm like, you were married before? So there's just so much coming at me at once. And yes, I appreciate this happening on the date we're on, the first date we're actually having. But the way he's spewing the information out is like, I told you, or yeah, I was divorced. So it's like very just like matter of fact, or just like I'm spilling this out, like receive it the way that I want you to. So y'all, it was weird. But really put me over the edge was he just started bad mouthing his ex-wife and the mother of his children. He was like, yeah, I had to divorce that bitch. Calls her a bitch. So I had to divorce her because, she was just too much. She was crazy. Like when she found out I was gay, she got so upset. It was just like this whole thing. And I was like, but you're gay and you have 4 kids with her and y'all were married. Should she not be upset? And y'all, this is how I'm acting on the date. So I'm like, should she not be upset? Like she was married to you, y'all have 4 kids together, and for you to be gay. And he's like, she knew I was gay. I know she knew I was gay. Like I know she knew. And I'm like, well, how would she have known? He's like, I just know she knew. Like there's no way you could not have known. And she caught me a couple times like texting some guys before and stuff. So she definitely knew or whatever. I was like, maybe at that point she knew, but maybe there was still some level of hope. I mean, you guys had all these kids together, but I don't know if that's fair to say she knew from the get-go. Then he started yelling at me like, you don't know what we went through, So y'all, so I'm like, it just got weird, and I'm like, you know what? I don't know you. I don't know you guys. And I was like, at this point, honestly, like, I am not gonna allow you to badmouth your ex-wife and the mother to your kids to me. I was like, I do not know your situation, but at the end of the day, she's in Michigan watching your kids while you're living your best gay life, I guess, in LA. So I'm not gonna sit here and allow you to call her out her name and disrespect her. Like, she's still a black mother doing her thing. And just coming from a family, I'm one of 5 kids, but one of 4 kids I grew up with. I know how much on both of my parents it was to raise 4 kids, and it was a 2-parent household. So y'all, so I was just very annoyed, and I was voicing that, and I was just like, I really wanted you to take me home. Y'all, I was like, I'm not, and I was like, honestly, at the end of the day, I don't know you. I don't know what's going on with you and your wife. I don't like how you're disrespecting her though. So I would like you to take me home. Y'all, he was so upset he had to take me home. He was like, why I gotta take you home? I was like, this isn't really for me. Like, I honestly don't want to date someone who has 4 kids. I think you're great. All that, this was fun, but we're not gonna be able to continue. Like, I'm just being honest with you. I don't have a interest in that. He's like, but my kids don't live here. But my kids don't live here. What's the problem? My kids don't live here. That's a huge part of the problem, actually. Like, I don't want you to have kids, but if I ever decided to date a man that had kids, I would want him to be involved in his kid's life. So it's not gonna work for me. And you're talking about you just FaceTime your kids. And then I ended up asking, I was like, when's the last time you seen your kids? And he was like, I fly out to Michigan probably like once a year? I think he said maybe twice. But I remember that once. It was like once to twice a year, I believe is what he said. Y'all, I'm like, so you see your kids physically once a year? I was like, yeah. So I'm sorry. I was like, I'm not trying to judge or anything. Like, hey, you got to do what's best for you and your family. I was like, but I don't agree with the stuff you're saying as far as what I even want in a partner at this point who has kids. So I just want you to take me home. I was like, and if you can't take me home, I can call an Uber. No, I'll take you home. But damn, it's like that. Like, it's like that. Like I said, my kids don't even, I don't see what the issue is. My kids aren't here. You say you don't date somebody with kids. I don't get what the issue is. I'm like, and y'all, I'm not about to keep repeating myself. I said, can you please take me home? Or if not, I will get an Uber. So y'all, he ends up taking me home. But y'all, the whole car ride, he's just like, wow, so it's like that, okay, you that kind of dude, a dude can't have kids, okay, that's the type of time you on, y'all just coming at me, and I'm like, this is so awkward because it's like, what do you want from me? You want me to be okay with you not seeing your kids? You want me to be okay with you bashing your ex-wife? Like, what kind of character would I have on a first date being so okay with all of this? Like, and I respect that you doing whatever you need to do. I just will not be a part of it. So y'all, eventually he sent me home and then he sent me a text and was like, that's just so wrong that you wouldn't want to be interested with me after that. I'm opening up letting you know I have kids and I have an ex-wife. This is why I don't even want to tell anybody anything like that, because the fact that you can't even accept me for that, that's just crazy. So y'all, y'all don't remember if I responded to that text. I know he eventually got blocked because he kept blowing up my phone, being like, damn, it's like that. We're done. We're not talking anymore. It was like he would not leave me alone for probably 3 or 4 text messages after that. So he did eventually get blocked. But y'all, just bananas. Like, what? Like, I'm not about to sit here and date somebody who does not hang out, see their kids. I'm not doing that. And also, I don't want to be even in the drama of you, your ex-wife, who you still have some bitterness towards. So I don't even know if y'all co-parenting, however you decide, whatever you're doing with your co-parent, how that even works. I don't want to be in the middle of any of that. Y'all. So that was the date from hell number 1. So y'all, the next one, it's a little bit quicker of a story, but I just wanted to share this as well because y'all, this probably happened maybe 2 months after this date. So it was like back to back meeting up with men who are not really doing the thing as fathers. But y'all, so the next one I met, I can't remember if I met him off of Tinder or Jack'd, but it was off of a dating app. I was living in Baldwin Hills at the time, and I met him at this place called Post and Bean, which is a really cute, black-owned brunch spot in the heart of Baldwin Hills. So I ended up meeting up with him. You know, we get there. Of course, he's running like 30 minutes late, so I'm already annoyed, but he's running 30 minutes late. But the good thing is, I really liked this spot when I used to live in Baldwin Hills because it was like literally like a 4-minute. Like I could walk. It was like a 5-minute walk, but like a 2-minute drive. Like, so I liked having dates there because it's like if anything jumped off, I could just go home. I'm not inconvenienced, y'all. That's one thing about me. When I go on dates, I don't like going super far. I'm not driving 30 minutes for no date. Y'all, if I can't Uber there or it's not a quick little, I'm not doing that. Dates don't go well enough for me to be inconvenienced too much. I'm not driving in 45 minutes, no 30 minutes. 20 minutes or less, and I most likely will want an Uber, or if not, parking better be easy. I hate inconveniencing myself for a date. But sorry, I digress. Yeah, whatever. So he's 30 minutes late. He gets there. It's fine. We start the day. It's nothing spectacular. Kikiing, you know, very small talk. I'm carrying a lot of the conversation. So then we get to a topic of like, he's like, oh, do you have a roommate? Do you live by yourself? And at the time, y'all did have one roommate. Super cool dude. But at this time, I did have a roommate. And I'm like, yeah, I have a roommate. Yeah, he's pretty cool. He's like, oh, like, is your roommate around all the time? Is he always in your place? And I said, I mean, normal amount of time a roommate's there. He has a life. He goes out and does stuff. He takes trips. But, you know, he's there. He's like, oh, I'm just curious. You know, like, I'm just curious. And I'm like, okay. And he just kept asking me questions about my living situation. I'm like, then at one point I'm like, why does it matter? Like, you know, and then I'm like, he just kept asking me questions about my living situation. So it sparked me to be like, do you have any roommates? Who do you live with? He's like, yeah, I have a roommate. I'm like, okay, y'all, but keep in mind this man was probably like 32 years old. I really was in my bag of dating a little bit older men at that time. But I mean, I'm 31 now. But back then when I was 25, I was like, let me get the 30 pluses. So y'all, he's like, well, technically I have one. I was like, what do you mean technically? He was like, well, I have kids, so when they're not with their mom on the weekend, and then I usually have weekends, and then during the week sometimes if she needs me to take them, I have them. And I said, so you have a roommate who is a man? He's like, yeah. He's like, I'm like, so you have a grown man roommate, and then you have your kids that are around partial time. And I said, how many kids do you have? He was like, I have 4. I said, okay. I said, wow, I did not expect you to have 4 kids. I have to be honest, like, I'm not even gonna waste your time. I have no interest in dating somebody with that many kids. Y'all, when I say his response was almost exactly like the response of the other guy, it was wild. He was like, but my kids won't be around all the time. Like they're not around. Like they're not around a lot. I mean, just the weekends, and like I don't have them all the time. Like, and I was like, hey, if you don't have them all the time, whatever, that's fine. That's your thing. I was like, but I genuinely just don't have an interest in dating somebody that has that many kids. Y'all, he just kept giving me so many excuses. He started talking about how one of his kids is, you know, he had him when he was really young. So one of his kids is a preteen or like 13 or 14. So he be playing video games all the time. The other 3, they're really quiet. They like to draw. They don't really want to, they don't do much. They don't bother him. Y'all just trying to give me all these excuses about how he is so far removed from actually engaging with the children when he has them. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna just, you don't even have to do all that. I am not interested to move forward. Y'all, I really was being really blunt at that time because it's like, you're not gonna convince me to want to date you when you have this many kids. And on top of it, I don't know why y'all think it's attractive to basically say how you're not engaged with your kids. Like, stop it. So y'all, he just kept on. I just said, you know what? Like, I was like, we can just split the bill. I will pay for my portion of everything we got, and I'm gonna go. And y'all, I was so close to my house, it was like, whatever, I don't care. So y'all, he's just like, wow, I'm not gonna have you pay for the bill. So y'all, then it was an argument about him paying versus me. And I'm like, if you wanna pay, you can. I was just trying to be nice, but I'm gonna go. So I was just gonna pay for my portion. So y'all, that was the whole thing. But eventually, y'all, I leave the date, I exit the date, and y'all, this man kept blowing up my phone too. Y'all, the next day texted me like, hey, what's up? When I'm gonna see you again? Like nothing happened. He's like, hey, what's up? When am I gonna see you again? I said, we're not seeing each other again. I mentioned to you that the kids were a deal breaker for me. You were serious about that? Like, I literally told you, like, my kids are not even gonna be around like that. I'm not even gonna introduce you to my kids like that. Like what? I said, that's perfectly fine. I would hope you wouldn't. But as I stated, I'm not interested in dating somebody that has 4 children. Y'all, and I eventually had to block him too, y'all, because he kept texting me being like, wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. It is, you're damn right it's crazy. It's damn right it's crazy that I get surprise, shock value every time somebody wants to wait to a date to tell me they have not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 children. And I'm a gay man in my 20s. Why would I want to deal with all that? Why? And on top of that, sir, you have a roommate. On top of having your kids around, you have a full house. I am not trying to be casted in full house. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. So y'all, that was my tea for these 2 dates with these 2 fathers. No shade to gay fathers. Kudos to y'all doing y'all thing. If y'all had ex-wives and y'all had, you know, the courage to finally come out and all that, there is no shade from Jay's end. There's none, but I don't want to be a parent. I have no desire to be a parent. Not at all. And I definitely don't want to be a parent to somebody else's kids. I have no interest. I don't want to deal with ex-wives, baby mamas. Not my jam. So those are my 2 baby daddy dates from hell, y'all. And so let me know what your thoughts were in the comments. Let me know if you guys dealt with anything similar. If you guys gone on dates with people that don't want to take care of their kids or have all these kids and expect you to be okay with it. you know, or you've been in a situation where you thought you could play step parent and you realized you couldn't, or if you guys went on dates and somebody had expressed to you that they had kids and they did it in the right way and they introduced the kid to you in the right way, whatever. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your experiences. I would love a cute kiki about this. But let me know. Also, like this video if you thought it was funny, if you thought it was cool, if you thought it was interesting. I'm thinking about maybe dropping a Dates from Hell video once a month. I have a lot of funny date stories, a lot of crazy date stories. I might even do some hookup ones too. But definitely let me know if you found this video interesting. Be sure to like it. Be sure to subscribe if you are liking this content. But as always, guys, do your best to stay safe, stay positive, and I will see you guys on the next video.